I am going to be selling up, and that includes the car, the parts on the car, and all of the parts that I have accrued over the past 6 years of TT ownership. I am calling it a day.
I know you're all in shock about Dom leaving the TT world. Well, don't worry, plenty more TT content to come from me. Let's head outside to the car. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to the worst TT that I've ever bought. Today's video, we are going to be looking at the plans for this car. I'm going to be taking some more stuff off it, so I'm going to be chatting to you while I'm removing some more bits. And the bits that I'm removing today, I'm taking the intake pipe off because I've sold that. I'm going to be taking the cup holder out and the handbrake and the centre console because they are also sold. And you might have seen a post on Facebook if you follow me on the socials that I'm trying to sell the body kit off the car. Now you might be thinking, oh, that means you've decided to break it. And you'd be right, but you're not 100% right, okay? I'll let you know my thought process as I go through this. Okay, so let's just get some tools and start working, shall we? Now, because I've already removed everything else, removing this intake pipe is going to be nice and easy. And then I should just be able to wiggle it loose. There we go, as easy as that. Pull that off there. And that is ready to be posted. Let's move on to the interior. So as you've seen in the first video, this car really is not worth saving to put on the road. I would spend far too much money. I've already got a nice Mark 1 sat in the corner that I can just, you know, do a couple of bits to, tax it, insure it, MOT it, and away I go. So why would I invest loads of money into this one? Doesn't make sense. So I'm going to break it for pieces. But so if I'm ripping everything out of this car, it is what you thought at the beginning of the video. It is the car's going to be scrapped. Well, no. So once everything's gone off it, like the body kit, like all the interior, I'm just left with this empty shell. What could I do with it? And then it came to me, something that I've wanted to do for ages. Now, by the time I've sold everything off this car, and we can do a video about, you know, how much bits are worth as we're going into that process, you know, breaking the TT, is it worth it? We can do stuff like that. We can discuss the value of parts and how to take stuff off and all that good stuff. There's plenty of content. It got me thinking, with the money that I make from it, I've essentially got a free shell that I could do whatever I want with. Now, if this was a Roadster, what I would want to do is use the back end of it and make a barbecue that you open the boot lid and the barbecue's in there and just put that in my garden. I think that would be awesome. And that may still be something I'll do in the future. But this is obviously a coupe. And then I thought, I've been having lots of fun doing track days in my Mark II TTS. But if I'd been that, I would be gutted. If this was a track car, I wouldn't be bothered. The car owes me nothing, so I'd put some money into suspension, brakes, tyres, rebuilding the engine, but it wouldn't be a massive amount of money. And I could build it in such a way that it doesn't need to be MOT'd, taxed, or insured. Get a trailer, drive to a track day, absolutely kick the car's head in. If it blows up, trailer it home, fix it, go again. I know what the chassis can do. It's not the best chassis in the world, but I do understand its limitations and I know how to work with those and tune it to be a good car. So that's my thoughts, okay? And without going too much into that at the minute, just be aware there will be plenty of content about building this thing into a track car. And I'm talking, you know, you'd be amazed the amount of interior bits that can be removed, chopped away when you're not bothered about keeping it road legal. So let me know in the comments down below, what would you do if you were building an out and out track car? What would you be excited to do? What would you be excited to get rid of? Once we've got the carpet and everything out of this, I'm going to show you the interior, just how much weight can be removed just by removing brackets that aren't needed, strengthening sections that won't be needed because we'll have a roll cage. Now, I honestly think that I can get this to around 1,000 kilos, which would be a massive, massive saving. And on track, that really counts for the handling, for the braking, for the acceleration, just everything comes together. So if you can have the same power and the same suspension components but have less weight to be moving around, the car is a lot more nimble on track. Now, I've been having a lot of fun in my Mark II TTS on track, and there is a video on the channel about that. You know, done a couple of nights at Donington Park and it's great fun. The problem is I'm always worried about binning it, okay? I've got a lot of money tied up in the car, not a lot of money, but I've got good money tied up in the car. And I don't want to be putting that into the tyre wall and then having to get it recovered home and then fix it and all that stuff. However, A car like this, that I have no cares about whatsoever, if this goes into the tyre wall and I've got to change a wing and bend the chassis leg back out or whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? This isn't going to be going on the road at all. So as long as this is safe enough to be on track, which arguably, the requirements for this to be safe on track in certain aspects are more so, like it's got to be better than if it was on the road. But other things just don't matter. Like I don't need a fog light, I don't need a horn, I don't need headlights, yeah. I don't need a dash, I don't need any of the interior, I don't need the four-wheel drive. I need a limited slip diff, get rid of all the weight of the prop, the rear end, keep the independent rear suspension. There's big plans for this car. I've thought about it a lot. I've been thinking about it probably on and off for like 4 or 5 years, but getting into that Mark II and starting to do more track stuff has got me thinking, yeah, this can be done. Anyway, right, let's carry on removing parts. Hopefully that's excited you a little bit. Now on these, when people fit these cup holders, they tend to just clip them in. They don't tend to screw them in, but it does come with 2 factory screws that go into the center console. So I'm actually selling this as a kit with the arm, with the cup holder, as well as this center console here. So by the time this video comes out, it may have already sold because they're pretty popular, but if it hasn't, I'd love it if someone on the channel wants to buy it, great. On that note, everything on this car basically is for sale, so just hit me up. I mean, like I say, I'm going to be selling the complete body kit, and then I can just make aluminium skirts for it. I can make wider wings for it. Yeah, this is going to be a proper track build. I can chop the roof out and put a fiberglass roof in. I can do all sorts, all right? And this isn't going to be a quick project. This is going to be sat on my driveway under a cover so that it doesn't annoy the neighbours, and it might take a year, it might take a bit longer, yeah, but it is going to be a cool project. Right, so this cup holder now just clips out, and that's the reason that you should really secure it in place, because with the weight of drinks, this could move around, which is why it is secured normally. But yeah, so now we also need to remove this handbrake, because this is the leather one, which is really rare. I say really rare, you don't see it very often at all. I think it's geared toward S-lines, but I don't know with any confidence to say 100%, all right? But I'm pretty sure the last one I had that had this was also S-line. But yeah, so to remove it, I mean, we've got to remove this panel that sits in front of it. You can't see what I'm doing, can you? That's no good. Let's get the camera in here and show you. Take that bit out, and then we've got room for this whole lever to just come forwards like that, and job's a good one. There you go. As easy as that. There we go, right. Oh, what freebies have we got? €3. Okay. Not sure what this is. It's a mini vape. I don't know. I don't do that. No idea. Oh, there we go. Give it a bit of a clean up and job done. But there you go. That's the fixings that I was on about for the cup holder. So that's it for me today, guys. Just a quick one while I was working on the car. I thought I'd talk you through the plans for the car. I'm really excited about what's going to happen. There's lots of parts in this car that can help towards keeping other enthusiasts' cars on the road in a nice condition. And it should be able to help fund some of what I want to do to this car. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. So yeah, just make sure you subscribe to the channel, and you're going to see some pretty cool updates on this car. Until next time, I'll see you later. Cheers, guys.